given an invitation to come and talk about hydrology.
Oh,
And we met some very interesting professors over there.
correct.
And they are also, Vijay will tell you what exactly was the name of the university. Very interesting. And they are very much interested in the physics,
Uh-huh.
you know. And I think that we have to engage people who are open at this point.
I think you might have come to Indian Institute of Science.
Yes, I think so. Yes, that's
Yes,
right.
Indian, because physics
Beautiful
being
campus, and it was very
yes, yes.
conducive environment to talk about many.
Do you know that story?
Yes. Oh,
The, that Tata, elder Tata,
yes,
Nauroji Ratan Tata.
yes.
When he was going in a ship, he met our Vivekananda.
Okay.
Then Vivekananda suggested why you are going to foreign countries to check all your materials. You can set up a lab in India itself and you can do it. So our people will be getting all the benefit.
Wow.
Then he suggested you go and see Mysore Maharaja. He will help you. Then he gives a word to the Maharaja also. Then the Maharaja gave 300 acres of land in Bangalore. That is called the Indian Institute of Science now. So
Excellent.
the history in the background is a beautiful one.
Beautiful. I
And
went to see. There are some uh, introduction to many cities in India.
ah,
Jaipur, Ahmedabad, Calcutta, Bangalore. So I
yes,
was
yes.
looking at it, and but Vivekanand, Swami
Ah,
Vivekanand did many things. Even there is a
correct.
um, kind of somebody mentioned to me, I think my eldest brother, that Swami Vivekanand
Ah,
talked to Rockefeller, the
ah,
old,
old
you
man.
know,
Ah,
in the early
yes,
1900s.
yes, yes.
And he gave them an idea that health is very important. Do some research in health.
Oh,
This is how I think the Rockefeller Foundation
foundation. Yes, that.
came into existence, and they have done many
Oh,
besides taking over the world.
Vaibhav,
right.
Hello.
con-
Yes.
I think Sankari from.
oh, sorry, by mistaken, I unmute my mic. Very
No,
sorry.
no problem. No problem.
So Swami Vivekanand has
No,
Uh-huh.
done many pioneer things, even in other countries.
Uh-huh. But Vivekananda Mutt is there in everywhere now. Northern California, Southern California, everywhere that mutt is there. And
Yes.
they are doing a very good job in Bangalore also.
Yes.
That Vyasa University combined to the Vivekananda Mutt is doing very good work in Bangalore.
I see. Now you are based in Chennai.
No, I am very close to Bangalore.
Oh,
Hosur. My town is called Hosur. It is 30 kilometers from Bangalore, but I am in Tamil Nadu.
I see. Okay. Very
Uh,
interesting.
Ravindranath has come. Sir,
Yes.
good evening, sir. Valga Valamudan.
Valga Valamudan. You have to, we are only able to see the top of your head.
yeah. So, attendance.
Yes, sir. Rangasamy,
Yes.
sir. Valga Valamudan.
Yes, doctor. Yeah.
Oh, good evening.
Oh,
Good evening. Good evening.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Valga
வாழ்க
Valamudan.
வளமுடன்.
Walk, Walmudan, doctor.
sir, today Gunasekaran is with us, sir.
Oh, Dr. Gunasekaran. Good evening, Dr. Gunasekaran.
Hello, Gunasekharan.
Unmute Gunasegaran. You can unmute and talk. You are muted.
Shanmugavel.
Yes, sir.
குணசேகரன் இருக்காரா?
இருக்கார் sir.
இருக்காரு.
என்னமோ அவரை பார்க்கணும்னு அப்படி ஒரு லவ்.
பாத்தீங்களா? அதுதான் இந்த மீட்டிங்கோட அட்வான்டேஜ். Your love and compassion is coming out, flowing.
Nostalgic memories, those are.
Good morning, Indiraji.
Good morning.
Good morning.
8 o'clock.
Yeah, saluting both of you.
Good evening, namaste ji.
Namaste.
Namaste Raji.
Enga Shankari.
Vijay is coming.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, let him come. Yeah. Vijay is coming, and where is Shankari? She came. Muttumani, call Shankari.
வந்துட்டாங்க.
Okay. Shankari, good evening. Good evening. Welcome.
Karthik has come.
Sorry for the delay, sir.
Karthik has
No,
come.
no,
Class
go
முடிச்சிட்டு
ahead.
வரேன்.
Good.
Oh,
Morning in California.
good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன் sir.
எங்க நரேஷ் வந்திருக்காரா?
இல்ல சார், ஆபீஸ் கால்ல இருக்காரு சார்.
Okay.
ஜாயின் பண்ணிக்க சொல்றேன் சார் நான்.
All right. Okay.
வாழ்க வளமுடன் சார்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். ஜெயபிரகாஷ் டாக்டர் ஜெயபிரகாஷ்.
Jayaprakash will come 15 minutes later.
Okay, I'm sorry.
From UK. UK doctor will be joining us.
I'm
He has got a
online now.
patient. Yeah.
Doctor has joined.
Okay.
Rangaswamy, doctor has come.
Jayaprakash has joined.
Hey,
Good evening, Jayaprakash.
welcome. Good evening, doctor.
Good evening.
You come earlier than what you said.
Yes, I finished earlier.
You had a patient.
I finished earlier. You're quite right. I finished earlier than I expected.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good morning. I'm from
Nice to see you.
Boulder, Colorado.
Oh, for you, good morning, I think.
Correct. It will be.
Knowing Dr. Gupta ji and Indra Gupta ji. They are the trustees of Aliyar.
Okay. Vijay is here.
Welcome, sir. Good morning, Dr. Gupta ji. Welcome.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
We
Hey,
have
Karthik. Now, Karthik, good morning or good evening, whatever it is. You have a forum in which you can discuss with Dr. Jayaprakash about your Kayakalpa, whatever you have done. And because he has also got an in-depth study he has made in the last maybe more than 20 years. So we would like to hear once again, you can interact with him and enlighten us.
Wow, okay. Just a minute, sir. Give me 5 minutes. Let me pull up my data so that it will be even more interesting to share.
Oh, sure. Muttumani, who else is joining so that it is going to be a very interesting session today?
Lively.
Because yeah, a lively session.
சக்திதரன் ஐயா வர முடியாது அப்படின்ட்டாங்க, பேசிட்டேன். அதே மாதிரி ஜேபி பிரின்சிபால் ஐயாவும் நாட் ஏபிள் டு கம். ஸோ இல்லை, பிரின்சிபால் வர முடியல அப்படின்ட்டாங்க. ஸோ 2 பேருமே வர முடியல. ஸோ வி வில் கண்டினியூ.
Okay, okay. A leave of absence granted.
So can you enable screen sharing for me? Can you make me a host so that I can?
Sure.
Muthubadi can do that, I think.
Yes, I can.
He has done Kayakalpa research. Who? Karthik.
Karthik ji, now you are a co-host. You can present in a
Sir.
Yes.
Surprisingly, you put me, but I can share some findings what we did for sharing about Kayakalpam. So the question is this: we keep saying that after doing Kayakalpam, we are seeing a difference, and we keep saying the immunity gets improved. These are the claims we are making these claims. And when I talk about Kayakalpam in my office or in professional background, people look for data. People look for claims. How do you make that claim? Data to make that claim, right? So I was trying to figure out why and how this works. As out of curiosity, what I did is after I teach Kayakalpam, whenever I teach Kayakalpam, I was trying to pull in my own money to take a hormone sample, right? From the saliva stabs, take a measurement of hormone sample before doing Kayakalpam and after doing Kayakalpam, right? And what you find here is the difference in that result. The pre-value and post-value is on the date before I teach Kayakalpam and after I teach Kayakalpam. Okay, this is one sample where I see that for the 2 participants here in the bottom 2, before and after doing Kayakalpam, there is a decrease in melatonin hormone level. And for these 2 participants are male participants. And there is another participant who is female. For her, before learning Kayakalpam and after learning Kayakalpam, the amount of melatonin level just got doubled, almost like double, from 26.7 picogram per ml to 47.25 picogram per ml. Sir, please don't record. Okay.
Very significant.
Yeah, please don't record, sir. Okay, so this is what they are seeing, that their eyes are getting a little brighter. They feel like they're seeing a little bright, right? Consistently, we see that. And salivation, after doing Kayakalpam correctly, each time they are feeling like little saliva secretion, right? And when this observation is consistently noticed, to figure out what is the source of what could be the source of this observation. We were exploring and studying in different angles and talking to other medical practitioners. And one way what could be happening is for salivation is, we know that there is, when we do Kayakalpam, it is a nervous toning practice. Okay? Unlike Kegel exercise, where through the nerve action, we are making muscle movement, whereas in Kayakalpam, through muscle movement, as a side effect, we are toning the nerves. The exercise is done for the nervous system, not for the muscles in Kayakalpam. Right? And in the autonomous nervous system, right, the actions what we did, right, what we are working on, along with the autonomous nervous functions, which is like controlling the heart, lungs, kidney functions, salivation is also a part of autonomous nervous functions, right? Hence, we suspect that could be one relationship, that there is a toning happening in the autonomous nervous functions. Okay? And is it that a physical movement, a physical activity on the nervous system, which is resulting in this function? It needs to be a little further studied. From the study, what we have seen from user feedback after every session over a period of 5-6 years, we see that this trait is consistently observed, which is salivation. There's one factor, which can be explored even further in detail, right? More in detail. And another very interesting factor is I'm feeling my eyes getting brightened. I'm feeling like this room itself is a little bright after I finish Ashwini Ujja's breath. And that could be related to the pheromones. We know that the birds have the way to have magnetic sensing of magnetic North Pole or South Pole due to quantum magnetic sensing at the eye level. The same kind of components, chemicals are there in our eyes and the pineal gland as well. Hence, this could be happening, but that has to be further studied, that has to be further explored. And that got us a little curious. And what I did is, before doing Kayakalpam and after doing Kayakalpam, we just took a picture of our eyes using a normal cell phone camera. A picture of your eyes on a well-lit screen. When now I don't have the proper light, just full eyesight before and after. And based on this data, this pictures, before picture and after picture, that has been fed to a machine learning algorithm, right? And this computer algorithm, machine learning algorithm, was able to predict a picture after going through all the pictures, studying before and after pictures. It is able to predict with 92% accuracy whether this picture is taken before or after doing Kayakalpam. So what that indicates is possibly there is we could not, even though we could not visually notice to our eyes that there is a difference happened in the eyes, but at the very minute level, probably there is some change which is happening in the eyes. We might have, if we study this with a larger population data set, we might be able to generalize something and take it for further detailed exploration of what is happening. Right? Whether if this result, if this is consistently reproducible across different population sets, right? This can be explored further. I mean, the study what I did is only with myself. when our strength in Sky itself is we have a huge base, but unfortunately we don't have any data. In fact, we don't have any means to collect data. Right? We have a lot of curious minds, but we don't even have a means to include them for any social research or collecting data from that. Having some means to reach out to all this set of audience and from there collecting someone or taking a pool and even to conduct a randomized control trial to study that kind of a means would help all the social research scientists, I think, that among Sky who are interested in that aspect would to explore this science and make it available to the rest of the world. We can present these findings. See, later when we are bringing it up to UN study or for any further study, we'll be able to talk about the benefits of Sky in a more data-based manner. And that is my humble request here in this forum. That's pretty much what I have done with respect to Kayakalpam, sir. Thank you for sharing your ears and attention for what you have done.
Thank you.
Karthik, how about the taste of the saliva? Was it different?
Yes, sir. It was sweet.
I have a question.
Actually, it is changing also. There was for 90% of the so initially on the day of learning Kayakalpam, the taste of saliva is feeling a little sweetness. That is what has been shared. But very rarely, after a period of 4 weeks, when we continue to collect data, right? And very rarely, few people have also said that the taste of saliva seems like a little the kasakara tanmai, little that has also been shared. And on that event, when they notice that, they feel like they have felt like little high on that event. So that data has also been shared. But see, this is all within on a personal feedback level. And if we have some kind of a forum to collect all this data and at least anonymously to be available to the people, that should bring up that will bring up the image of what we are showing as well, what we are sharing as well, instead of just saying as a word of mouth experience. Having something sharing with this data, I think that would add more weightage to what we are really passionate. We all are what we are really passionate about as Kayakalpam.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Do you have personnel to help you collect data?
I teach Kayakalpam. I'm a Sky assistant professor as well. After I conduct the session, I used to tell them, okay, we are continuing to do this study. So, I do this. I'm like a single man army.
Yeah, it does not have an assistant or data collection person.
Yeah.
Do you need some help?
He is a biochemist. That's why he's asking.
Oh, for biochemistry.
He needs
So
a
I think
massive help.
So what I'm seeing is in all the areas which is, I think that is promising, I'm exploring and touching it out. I think probably we probably need to focus our attention into 1 or 2 key avenues.
Yes.
And figure out, find out where the maximum returns are going to be. And probably we need to dedicate our attention and get in. I think that should be the right way forward for us. Right? And we have more very experienced people in this forum. Like I'm just a little curious, passionate practitioner. I'm always trying to disprove that this is not just working, and hence I'm collecting data to make that claim. Right? But you guys have more experience, and like I said, like a Jambavan in this area. So you might need
A
to say, like,
systematic study.
exactly, sir. We need to say like, okay, what is the right area to look in? Then we can all work together to direct your attention in one particular area.
Dr. JP
Yeah,
Aya wants to talk to.
Yeah.
Some.
For that, we have to tell him, which direction. 360 degrees, we have got ample opportunity. We can go degree by degree because Maharishi has not given one area. He has given the 360 degrees. So, Karthik sir, we will proceed on every possible direction, but one by one. Focus our attention towards, we will decide among us. There's a couple of meetings we have had. So we know what you are doing and what others are doing. We are coming to know each other. And at the end, maybe a couple of sessions, we can ask Dr. Ravindranath to say, okay, gentlemen, this is the direction we'll start off. So this is a way we can proceed on. This is a brainstorming session, and we can do all the root cause analysis on each of the topics and come to a conclusion. So Dr. Jayaprakash, most of them, if you are first time meeting him, I would like to introduce him.
Yes.
He is, I have great pleasure to introduce Dr. Jayaprakash to all the members in this. He is educated in Satur School. He is MBBS from Madurai Medical College and MS 1967 batch, and FRCS Royal College of Edinburgh, and trained as a plastic surgeon, private practice in St. Harley since 1991. Enormous amount of experience on practicing cosmetic reconstructive surgery and age management. Remember, this word age management has really brought us together because he himself can tell how he met Maharishi during one of his visits in UK. And doctor, you can now tell how you got this Kayakalpa into that focus area.
Right, sir. Before I go into it, can I talk to Dr. Karthik for a few minutes about his topic before I open my topic?
Sure.
Is that okay? Can I talk to Dr. Karthik for a few minutes about this before I open my subject?
Sir, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a curious engineer pursuing.
Sorry.
You guys are much more accomplished. I'm just
tell me what is your background, Karthik? I just want to put input to your research into your little thing. What is your background?
I'm okay.
You will be surprised.
I studied electrical and electronics engineering in PhD Tech Coimbatore. And I came to US doing my master's in engineering management. And I'm always curious almost like 20 years I've been, whatever it takes to figure out what is happening during Kayakalpam is what is my focus.
Excellent. Where are you based in US?
I'm in San Jose, sir. San Jose, California, San Jose.
Excellent. I'm very impressed. You are not a doctor. You've done an excellent job in melatonin. Really, hats off for you. Excellent. You've done a great job. I'd like to tell you a few things. My interesting topic is melatonin.
Wow.
And I've been working on it. I've been asking, I asked Swamiji many times about melatonin. He gave me a lot of input to melatonin. Equivalent to Siddha Manonmaniam. Have you heard about Manonmaniam?
Exactly, sir. Yes.
The Manonmaniam is in Siddha literature, extensively explained in Siddha literature over thousands of years ago. How Siddhar used to live longer by meditating early morning at 3 to 4 or 4 to 5, that sort of thing. Then they especially Duriya meditation, you concentrate at the Duriya and meditate. And the pineal gland is just at the Duriya point. Pineal gland is the part of the brain which secretes manonmanium or melatonin. I done an article on comparing manonmanium and melatonin. So melatonin is found in the allopathic literature only in 1948. But manonmanium is reported in Siddha literatures thousands of years ago. So when you do, most of the Siddhas used to do Duriya meditation in the early morning, and they secrete their melatonin high. Melatonin is an anti-aging hormone. If high melatonin, you live longer because it kills all the bad cells, including cancer cells. Like you said, melatonin is an anti-cancer activities. It is a major hormone which control all the other hormones activities. It works with the biological clock. It works in the morning, in the night, it works with the biological clock. It's one of the biological optimizing hormone. What time you did the melatonin level in saliva with the 3 patients you did? What time you took that?
This is between, I see what you're saying about the circadian rhythm. Even though ideally it should be coming down, this study was conducted between 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock.
That is in the morning, 10 to 12.
Around 11 to 12 to be precise. In
so
complete
you took
daylight.
The pre-level at 11 o'clock and post Kayakalpa at 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock, exactly. Yes,
and
one more data, sir, since you talk about manonmanium. I also conducted one study on myself doing manonmani meditation, manonmani dhavam, which Maharishi has taught. Right? Early morning, after waking up, without turning up any light at home, just early morning, no other light source at home.
Yeah, melatonin, the light source kills the melatonin secretion.
Right? Before doing manonmani dhavam, after doing manonmani dhavam, 0.3 picogram per ml of melatonin hormone was changed. Sorry, sir, please continue.
And the melatonin, which laboratory you used in California?
Okay. So I figured out that in 2017, there was a regulation which is passed, which enabled someone to take a melatonin test without a physician's approval. Right? And there was only one organization which was offering melatonin test. And I ended up having a business relationship through them.
Why I'm asking you, I am using 3 laboratories in US for these tests. I'm bringing one of the laboratory. I'm bringing one of the laboratory to Chennai to start the salivary hormone testing. Soon, in a few months, I'm going to establish that hormone laboratory in IIT Madras for the salivary hormone testing. That's why I'm asking you. I have 3 companies I'm using. One of the companies is very, very good companies in the US. I know them for 10 years, and they are based in North Carolina. The other other companies, they are based in, somewhere in, near California, south of California. What is the state?
Arizona.
San Jose.
I'm sorry?
Arizona.
In Arizona. They are in Arizona. So there are 3 companies I use. One in Arizona, one in North Carolina, another one is in Texas. So out of the 3 companies, one of the 2 companies, they use salivary melatonin. Rest of them, they use the salivary cortisol, the stress hormone. So I've been working on it last 5 years to bring them to India so that it's much easier to do clinical studies in India because the regulatory factors is easy to go through with that. rather than doing it in US and UK.
Oh,
Okay.
that would
So,
be fantastic.
Because the Manonmaniam is melatonin. I confirm it very literature, comparing the Siddha literatures and scientific literatures, there is nothing but Manonmaniam is melatonin. And I have done an extensive work on Manonmaniam with the help of, you might know this person called Paramasivam. You heard of him? He used to work in SKM. He used to come to
Erode.
Alia regularly.
Yes,
Paramasivam,
yes.
I see.
his
Okay.
wife is a Siddha
He was
doctor.
general secretary.
Correct.
He was general secretary.
Yeah, me and him went through all the Koli Hills. We went through Siddha trial of Manonmaniam. I took the BBC with me, went through Siddha trial all around South India, and collected the literature of Manonmaniam quite extensively. And so I have come to a conclusion, Manonmaniam is melatonin. Swamiji has given me the blessings that you work on the Manonmaniam and melatonin and anti-aging hormone. And Siddha Institute is, he said, Siddha is our Aliyar is the Institute of Siddha, part of Siddhas. He told me that. So when you touch the melatonin, that's the right one you did. But we need to compare the Siddha literatures into it to make it as a one, rather than separate the both allopathy and Siddha. It's very, very important. And the important thing, if you've been to Meenakshi Amman temple in Madurai, the first thing before the Swami Sannidhi, before they do the Abdibadaranai, first they do the Manonmaniam statue on the side. I asked the thing, why you do the Manonmaniam statue Diba first before you do the Linga Puja? They said the power of Manonmaniam is given to the Linga by Manonmaniam, the power of Duriyam. So I have extensive literature on it. You are in the right track. We need to do it in the right way. To cut the cost, I get it for Manonmaniam test, I mean, melatonin get for $100 in US. Because I do a bulk, I have a group with that. If you bring it to India, we can even cut the cost very, very low to $20 to $30, $40. So we can do extensive testing on Kayakalpa and Manonmaniam. And I don't say melatonin, Kayakalpa and Manonmaniam, I would say. Because
beautiful, sir.
That is very good. I'm very happy, you know, you are in an engineering field, done this sort of work. I really appreciate your work on that way. And so this is my favorite topic last 20 years. Melatonin is my 20 years topic that I've been working with Siddha literatures and Manonmaniam and melatonin. It's a very good way of going through it. Okay. And so you are,
this only shows.
Sarasota. They are in Sarasota, yeah? Right.
So, Dr. JP, this shows how Maharishi can get things done, whether the people, whether the person is qualified or not, related to the data which Swamiji wants. He gets it somehow or other.
Yes, given the strength and the focus by Swamiji's blessings. Yes. I will tell you about my experience with Kayakalpa and my research. In 2008, I brought a lady doctor. She's a naturopathy doctor from India, trained by Aliyar team, by Swamiji and all the other blessings of everybody. I brought her here, kept her here 1 year. I joined with a gynecologist in Royal Free Hospital in London, selected 25 patients, all elderly ladies above 45, above 50. And they're all with pelvic pain, back pain and irregular periods and all those. So we did an ultrasound scan of the pelvis and find out most of them, they have pelvic plexus varicosity. Their veins are all opened up heavily and heavy pressing on the ovaries and uterus, giving the pain. So we did an ultrasound, and then we did a Kayakalpa for 6 months continuously by this trained doctor, naturopathy doctor. And 6 months we did, and then we did an ultrasound after that and the hormone level. then their pelvic plexus verticosity shrunk, and then all the hormones are balancing well. And the research is done by a combination of a professor of gynecologist and endocrinologist and a naturopathy doctor and myself. We found out came out with Kayakalpa reduced the pelvic plexus velocity more than 70% of the people within 6 months. And then hormone balancing is obtained within 6 months as well. So it was a study done 14 years ago. That was the Kayakalpa thing. But I want to make it further into it much more extensively with this study, especially salivary hormones and ultrasound scan. And as you rightly put in, I was amazed you are engineering, saying that all the afferent nurses and different nurses, really great knowledge, I would say. If I put it in more extensive way, the Kayakalpa works on as you rightly said, autonomic nervous system has got a sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sympathetic is like a brake, accelerator. Parasympathetic is like a brake. Kayakalpa stimulate the brake, that is the afferent nerves, parasympathetic, take it to the higher center, the turiya, and control the neurotransmitters, the neurochemicals of the brake and accelerator chemicals, which controls the hormones.
Exactly.
So the laboratory people, I'm bringing them, they not only do the salivary hormones, they do the urine neurotransmitters of the excitatory inhibitory ones. So with the Kayakalpa, I want to establish how the neurochemical optimization of the brake and accelerator centers in the higher center called hypothalamus. In normal, they say turiya. Below the hypothalamus is the pineal gland. So we can do the neurotransmitter of the urine neurotransmitters and salivary hormones without puncturing the needle or anything. Easy to collect and do that, and the Kayakalpa. So Kayakalpa is a genetic, I always feel it's a combination of the vibrations of the genetic centers, the energy, bioenergy centers, which transmit along the parasympathetic nerves, goes to the higher centers and regulate the body in all. I call them multifaceted work channels rather than single channel work. And that is why we need to say Kayakalpa is a must for an anti-aging purpose. So Swamiji always told me, you are an age management physician. Make Kayakalpa as the first frame for age management. I am 70 years old, going to be in 3 months. And I do Kayakalpa every day religiously. And one of my secrets of being healthy is Kayakalpa. I always teach my patients, you have to do Kayakalpa to regulate your hormones, not just taking hormone replacement pills is waste of time. The Kayakalpa is one of the best age management regulations. So we can look at the neurotransmitters, urinary neurotransmitters, salivary hormones, plus the magnetic force vibrations of how the things going on in the right way with the Kayakalpa. So it's a gift, Swamiji's gift to the world, Kayakalpa. Is the main important thing in every aspect of the neural regulations, the hormonal regulations, and plus the Wi-Fi, the cytokines regulations as well.
Fantastic, sir. If I add a small point to it, we know that Kayakalpam does something with the hormone. We know for sure, right? And after doing Kayakalpam properly, we also know that there is some change happening in the eyes. Though it is at the very preliminary level, it has to be exhibited. It has to be further studied. Now, if one of them can be a biomarker for the other, so far, the measurement of melatonin is being done through saliva and urinary markers, right? If we can establish a way through the eyes, some change in that, is also precisely marking with hormone change, then we might be able to even arrive at a biomarker for measuring melatonin through eyes.
Can I explain to you? It's very complex. Eyes and melatonin is a complex subject. Okay.
I see.
We make it for a simplified one, because you making is the eye clarity and the eye glow and the eye specification with the photographs and everything. And melatonin eyes is much more complex. So I rather say, have you heard about aura, shininess, the people glow, the aura? The aura can be captured by 3D cameras. Nowadays, aura can be captured in a simplified way. How the people's aura, the energy comes in. Once the energy comes, energy goes everywhere, like electricity. Swamiji always used to tell me, how the aura and the energy, like electricity makes the fridge work, electricity makes the fan work, and the grinder works everywhere. So when the aura of the energy produced by the Kayakalpa, it goes and helps every part of the body. Eyes, nose, tongue, face, bones, everything. So this is why for the energy production of, you don't have to go into the complex eyes, you can go in the skin to measure the radiation of the energy.
Oh, nice.
Like aura. Or there is a 3D camera I used to work on for all the big companies like Allergan. I do the 3D graphics for the skin analysis, being a plastic surgeon. I worked on 2 years with the Allergan company in 2002 to 2005. I measure the shiny index of the skin before and after certain products. Same thing, we can measure the shiny index of the skin just by skin camera, boom, and see before and after Kayakalpa 6 months how the skin shininess improves.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Then we can, anyone can measure the
eye is a very complex mechanism to determine. By that, skin radiation is so easy to determine. How the skin shininess depends upon the hormone and the antioxidant and the nutrition and all the energy level. So skin is, skin I always say is the savior of the body. It weighs the 11% of the body, but it takes only 3% of the nutrition from the body. You know what I mean? It weighs the 11% of the body weight. It takes only 3% of the nutrition. So that is the best index to evaluate how the Kayakalpa influence on the skin health.
Awesome.
And
we can also use that as a measure.
Eye is a small organ. It takes more than 30% of the weight of the organ to nutrition. Do you understand what I mean? Skin only is 11%. It takes 3% of the nutrition what we take. So when we do the shiny index of the skin by a small camera, that helps easily about the Kayakalpa and the effect on skin. Okay.
The question begets is this: how can we make this, use this as a tool to motivate all the people? See, we still have a huge task ahead of us. The world population is 7 billion. We would have teached Kayakalpam only to probably 2 or 3 million. We still need to cover 7 billion people to, we have to teach Kayakalpa for 7 billion people more. Right? If we want to reach that much amount of people, the kind of tools what we have should be available in everyone's hand. Right? So
you said it beautifully. When Swamiji called me once to come and meet him, I went to here. He gave his monogram of Kayakalpa to me. What he wrote about Kayakalpa, his own writing. He gave it to me. He said, it's your responsibility to take it to the scientific community. I said, Swamiji, how you're giving this responsibility to me? I cannot take this big responsibility. He said, I'll give my blessing to take it around. With all that, I still have that responsibility to do that in a scientific way, in a big way. As you rightly said, our main aim is to take the Kayakalpa to the younger generation of the world, not just only India, younger generation of the world. What is the importance of Kayakalpa? By doing latest biomarkers like salivary, urinary neurotransmitters, all the camera, 3D camera reflections, then only the younger generation get attracted
Exactly.
to that, rather than say, oh, do the Kaya Kalpa, I'll be happy, you have the children, you love. They don't like it. When we have that, how the younger generation get attracted with the social media, with all the modern 3D graphics and everything, we need, oh, you don't have to puncture the needle. I can just take one saliva and give you the test. I can take 1 drop of urine, I can do that. So these are the modern biomarkers will attract the younger generation, put it in the social media to give the spread of words. And
Exactly.
then scientific publication published in the modern journals like Lancet and Nature magazines, that will attract the younger generation. This is why I keep on telling to Mr. Rangasamy, our aim is to attract the younger generation to spread the words, rather than we all convinced about Kaya Kalpa because Swamiji convinced us very long time ago. Now the younger generation is the main people we need to attract. That is our aim and goal.
You know, the problem with reaching to the younger generation is this, right? If you are going for a walk, you have a means to measure how many steps you have counted, how much distance you have covered. But if you did Kaya Kalpam, there is nothing to measure what is the impact it has been made on me.
We can measure it easily now. You know why? In California, there are software application, a little small sticker, you put it on electrode or a thing that measure the continuous level of sugar, cortisol, and everything without puncturing. There is a latest development. You have a little sticker on it that will monitor continuously. Especially
about glucose monitor. Okay.
Yeah, especially Kaya Kalpa and cortisol hormone, because melatonin reduces the cortisol. If the melatonin is low, cortisol gets high and erratically make all the hormones irregular. So melatonin does reduces the cortisol. So if you put a sticker on, analyze that without puncturing, and that is the latest gadgets that I'm looking at to bring it to India to develop that with IIT.
Fantastic, sir. Yeah,
and that is the one we need to look at the Kaya Kalpa and the effect of biomarkers of electronic chip, cortisols and everything. And that is the way to attract younger generation.
Sorry for the interruption.
Yeah.
Mathumani, can you check?
Hello, Alvaramda. சொல்லுங்க. Rangasamy. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Everything is all right. Everything is all right.
We can hear you well.
It's all right.
Rabindranath, he's in mute.
He's wanting to say something.
Please.
Right.
Go ahead.
Okay. See, to sum up what you both have given, you have looked into the effect of Kaya Kalpa from the eyes, from the skin, from the saliva. And the eyes and the Kaya Kalpa, how both are related is to the fact that the eyeballs are connected to the pituitary by exposure of light to the retina. And the same thing, the pinealocytes of the pineal this thing, you get the eyes transmitted from the retina, sensed by the pineal body, and that is reflected to the hypothalamus, and through hypothalamus to the pituitary, and the pituitary regulates the hormones. So this is how the eye, light to the eye affects the hormonal profile in the body. And it is interesting anatomically to see pituitary on the end of the this thing, corpus callosum, you have the pineal body. And just above the pituitary, you have the hypothalamus. All the three vital organs are connected anatomically. And the Siddhas, to add fire to your Siddha interest, they say, Tengai Paul, Mangai Paul.
That's right, sir. Excellent.
These expressions
that is the poem that triggered me very well. Tengai Paul Mangai Paul irukkumbodhu Tengai Paul edukadi. Our Siddha poem.
So
pineal gland is mango shape.
Now with the advances in the imaging technique, we are able to go through these areas. So now Maharishi has connected one from the Penn State, another from UK, and the base at Alyar. We all are new to each other even just 2 months before. Now we have come to know who has brought us together. It is none other than Maharishi. And he had some plan while handing over Kayakalpa to you and assigning you the responsibility. And somehow I have taken the R&D work. And how I got the contact of Karthik without knowing that he has done some work on Kayakalpa. And our meeting today is not scheduled. We have no business to meet and spend our time on this subject. This is so the universal magnetism through which Maharishi is acting on us and pulling us together. So I think he has lot of plans are not known to us. I'm sure if we proceed, we will be able to do something more. Now, something about the work at Alyar with Kayakalpa. See, some 30 years ago, I collected the semen sample of our senior practitioners, some 20 of them, looked into the various gross, very rudimentary semen analysis studies. And the study was not complete or conclusive, but the consistency of the semen, the liquefaction time was taking more in the regular Kayakalpa people. I wanted to study the morphology of the sperms exposed to prolonged practice of Kayakalpa. And those things are yet to be answered, even though we have crossed 30 years. And recently, I think I told you earlier, we have done mitochondrial studies with Kayakalpa. People who doing for decades, 2 to 3 decades, the senior professors in Alyar, they gave full, and that showed very significant, appealing changes in the mitochondrial expression, gene expression, and the fission reactions in the mitochondria of the. It was studied in the biotechnology department of Bardiyar University, and this paper was also presented in Korea, South Korea, and it was applauded, and they wanted further studies. In that connection, we did the Kayakalpa studies with new candidates who took the Kayakalpa at earlier in the health camps. On the day 1 and on the day 30th of the study period. This also showed significant changes. They studied some, I'm not a gene man, and we studied nearly 13 to 15 parameters. And significantly, all the parameters studied show marked difference, the improved expression. And the conclusion was that mitochondria were younger and they are more active. So we want to study this further. The on mitochondria is on a different angle and is less clinically oriented than Karthik's or your study. So the eye brightness, the skin luster, the shine, skin shining, and saliva, all the three may be the new avenues to explore Kayakalpa. And we can combine the information and plan a study involving all these things. And we have a scientist now in Calcutta, our own person who is interested, who gave me the reagents for the study of mitochondria in Coimbatore. So
Great.
he is a senior scientist involved in the pulmonology and improvement with the sky exercises. So we will involve him also, and we have access to the Defense Institute of Physiology and Allied Science, DPAS, and NIMHANS, the National Institute of Mental Health and Psychological Illness, Neurology and Psychological Illness, NIMHANS. So now we have the institutions to which we can apply, ask for help, and they may be giving, since they are impressed with the positive results in the pilot studies, they may be willing to take it up, and we can also raise resources to study this. So my request is to sit together and draw a protocol for the study, which JP sir with his vast experience can frame.
Sir, I can add a few more things to your statement. A couple more things I can suggest.
Yes,
Whenever I asked Swamiji, I'm an age management doctor. Tell me which is the best one to teach all my clients, all my people around me. And Swamiji always say, Kayakalpa, Kayakalpa. That slows down the aging process, regulate all the organs, please work on Kayakalpa on scientific basis on all the systems. It helps. As you rightly said, the aging, one of the theory of aging is mitochondrial theory, like hormonal theory, mitochondrial theory. That's the wild mitochondria and mutant mitochondria. The wild mitochondria is the normal, mutant mitochondria is the old mitochondria. So Kayakalpa can change the mutant mitochondria into wild mitochondria. We can do the mitochondrial biopsy, just a one needle into muscle and check the mitochondrial activity. Whether
They
it's
do
wild
it with the blood. They do the
Yes.
mitochondrial study with the blood
Yeah.
itself.
You can do that, as well as I have an association with the Karolinska University in Sweden, in Stockholm. You can just put one small needle and take a little bit of piece of tissue from the muscle, because muscle mitochondria is the biggest mitochondria. It's the most storage. And then I do regularly in my practice resting metabolic rate. Put a mask on the people's face, 20 minutes in the stomach in the morning, it'll assess the total metabolic rate. So we can do the Kayakalpa and do the resting metabolic rate before and after, how the energy of the mitochondrial energy improves. In clinically, like you said, clinically we can assess. Just a mask, 20 minutes lying down in empty stomach in the morning, that machine calibrate what is your total metabolic rate. And then do the Kayakalpa for 3 months or 6 months and do the metabolic rate. The machine is still already in Chennai, sitting there doing nothing. I have it in the research center. So we have a lot of things, like you said, mitochondrial study, without even taking blood, without even putting a needle into the muscle. We can do just the resting metabolic rate and mitochondrial activity. It's just a question of, like you said, linking all our ideas together and putting into practice.
I renew my request. That is, we need some method to measure the biomagnetism. If we have any instrument which will measure before and after Kayakalpa or before and after sky studies, we can show the increase or the changes in the energy level. The aura studies are not consistent in their results. Probably because the mind plays a stronger role than the physical body. And if the mind mentality changes, his thinking changes, the aura changes.
Absolutely. Quite right.
So the aura scope is not an ideal instrument to study this thing, effect of any Kayakalpa or any other intervention. Simply because it is not reproducible.
I agree. More than aura study, I put the skin shiny index.
Yes.
The shiny index, the reflections of the how shininess, because due to the increased circulations and all the nutritions and everything, regulation of hormones, because skin depends upon the estrogen. That is why lady skin goes down after menopausal, they get wrinkles and everything. Because
now we have the cameras. Now we have the cameras, the thermal cameras, which will measure the heat of the skin, and they give good images. We also should explore whether these cameras, the thermal cameras, can be used to study the change before and after. Another ideal helpful instrument is the magnetocardiogram or magnetoencephalogram, which has a magnifying effect on the changes perceived by the normal electrocardiogram or electroencephalogram. But the magnetoencephalogram is not widely used in the clinical routine medicine. So this we have to see. In Kalpakam, they have one magnetoencephalogram apparatus, which they said they will give to earlier. But I was so scared how to manage the magnetoencephalogram machine, which requires a lot of finance and scientific expertise, people to handle it.
As you rightly
Yes,
said,
sir.
sir, the bioenergy measurement is the future. I think Dr. Karthik can look into the bioenergy measurements in US, in California, because there are a couple of companies working on the bioenergy field at the moment. You can track that. That is the number one, as Dr. Ravindranath said very clearly, the measurement of bioenergy is the key factor. So if we can, Karthik can look into in California whether any companies to do the bioenergy measurements.
So I have reached out to, we have done a study using microfabricated atomic magnetometers whose resolution is in picotesla range. Most of the challenges why we
Please
are
repeat. Micro
fabricated atomic
fabricated.
atomic magnetometer. The physics is this: Earth's magnetic field is way, way stronger. It's in Tesla range, whereas the magnetic field in heart rate is in micro Tesla range. And when we go to brain signals, it goes further down into picotesla range. So any other magnetometer, unless we have a magnetic shield to protect, to isolate from the Earth's magnetic field, it is not going to work out.
For that
Whereas-
only I suggested zero magnetic field rooms
Exactly.
available in the Madras Institute of Magnetobiology.
Excellent.
Yeah, that has to be explored. The
Yes.
beauty with atomic magnetometers is
Hmm.
without a need for magnetic
Zero
isolation,
magnetic field.
you can still measure it. So that means anyone can access. That is the beauty of atomic magnetometers.
That's excellent.
Right? And 2 years back, I did that study, but I was not able to isolate. So I did a study after doing Kayakalpam, kept my palms like this, and at my palms, I can see an intensity of the magnetic field, but that instrument was
Measure
not able to pick that signal. It was able to pick my heartbeat between the palms without touching, just coming in close vicinity, the heartbeat of my hands, and the ECG signal from the magnetic field changes, that and the ECG signals are completely matching. But the impact of biomagnetism between the palms, it is not measurable. So that is bringing up the question: what we are saying as magnetic field, does this magnetic field interacts with the electromagnetic field itself or not? That is a very fundamental question, which I'm still asking myself. I really don't know this answer. Right? If it is not interacting at picotesla range, what else is happening here? Right? Are we when we are measuring, what is that we are measuring here? What kind of interaction is happening here? What is the nature of this magnetic field? What is the physics of this magnetic field? What is the physics of this biomagnetic field? Is this needs to be measured in terms of Tesla? Is that the right unit of measurement, what we are measuring, calling between the hands? Yes, we can experience something is happening between our hands, but is the unit of that measurement, is that in Tesla? What is the physics of this magnetic field, which we are talking, right? That is
Obviously.
my hypothesis. It's my hypothesis, a suggestion. I call them kinetic and static energy. When you do the Kaya Kalpa, you're converting the static energy into kinetic energy. See, the static energy is in the Mooladhara. And then, this is my hypothesis. I'm just thinking in a different angle. The static energy in our body is turned into a kinetic energy, going through that and then distribute into all the body and give the energy to every part of the cells. So the static energy we all have, and then the kinetic energy, we make it through Kaya Kalpa. What do you think, Dr. Karthik, with my hypothesis?
So within the body, it's fine. I see that what is being potentially stored within the Mooladhara at the SVF is becoming a distributed energy within the body.
That's called dynamic energy or
dynamic energy. We say that. But what is happening between the palms, outside the body? Why is that field?
It is only the attractive and repulsive force. It is only the interaction between the attractive and repulsive force which you feel as the resistance or the abnormal sensation in your palms. It is only magnet.
The question is, why is that force, attractive and repulsive force, not interacting with other sensors? Why is that attractive and repulsive force between the palms? Can it interact only with another living body?
I think last week I asked you to do a experiment with the hands, and making it a ball, magnetic ball, isn't it?
If I throw that ball on a paper, does the paper moves? It is not moving.
If you can ask, you create a ball and then slap your own colleague who stands in front of you. You throw this magnetic ball on him and blind him and see whether he is able to sense something touching him.
Sir, I did that. It did happen. It did happen. It did
happen.
It
is happening. It is happening. Without creating a ball, if you throw it, nothing will happen.
I agree with this, sir.
This shows this biomagnetism can be directed, can be accumulated, can be manipulated, can be intensified. All these things are the outcome of the game you played. So this knowledge will definitely help us to study the biomagnetism and its fluctuations in the body.
The word I use.
Swamiji says, please carry on.
I'm sorry, Dr. Ravindranath, carry on.
No problem. I can always talk. You talk.
I always say to my students when I teach the younger kids about this, I call them pendulum of energy. The energy goes, neither be destroyed, not created, like sort of thing. It's a pendulum of energy. From one side, the energy goes and then comes back. Like a pendulum of energy, Newton's law, you cannot destroy the energy. You can transform the energy from one to another. So I call them the pendulum of energy can be maintained by Kaya Kalpa as well as Duriya meditations and all the practices. So your pendulum of energy inside your body, the biomagnetism, you are maintaining it, the pendulum in the right direction. Sorry, Dr. Ravindranath, I disturbed it.
No, it is now we have the static energy in the form of sexual vital fluid. And we convert it into the kinetic energy, Ojas energy. And the process is Kaya Kalpa.
That's it. You hit the nail on the head, sir.
So that is it. And the theory is there, Maharishi's explanations are there, and our observations on ourselves is also there. So the field is well settled now. We have to only cook the pudding.
Yes, sir.
Gupta ji.
Yes.
So they are
Vijay.
all there.
Yes, yes. Please.
Yeah. They are all there, doctor. Nobody has gone today.
I'm eager.
You,
No, I'm eager to
so-
receive your perceptions.
He's asking
What do you think?
your insights, perception of the discussion in the
Of this discussion.
Well,
of this discussion.
I can tell you,
No.
I have not done any research on
Kayakalpa.
Kayakalpa. We are
No, but-
incorporating the practices in our daily routine, and we are reminding ourselves even before eating that we have to do Kayakalpa.
Now we are motivating you to restart the practice of Kayakalpa daily. Not once in the morning, but 3 times in the morning, 3 times in the evening, and along with 3 meals and 2 drinks, and while you are going to sleep last also. I am sure this will improve and bring Gupta ji back to my perception, what I have seen you years before. This will definitely produce a change in you, Dr. Gupta.
Okay.
Why only
Okay, I
doctor?
appreciate it.
Indiraji, you also come.
No,
Both.
I think
She will come faster than Gupta ji. Come on, Indiraji.
okay. My perceptions of this discussion is, let us pinpoint that Kayakalp is unilaterally, we are deciding to do research. Okay? Because
Yes.
I think Dr. Jai Prakash, if Swamiji gave that rain in your hand, there is a message behind it. And
Yes.
your research
Yes, ma'am.
that you have done can really set the priorities that we need to have, whether it is biomagnetism or melatonin, or how we really synthesize what we have learned for last 45 years. I met Swamiji in 1976. So it is like we have to narrow down to how Kayakalp can be really taken to the world, and what are our bases that can overlap, like, the eyes or the sexual vital fluid, or how the aura, because this covers different sciences in nutshell. And I will give
Yes.
you my example. When Swamiji was visiting us in Colorado, he prioritized Kayakalp because it takes care of everything else, with your mind, your body, anti-aging process, and melatonin. Even now they are saying that melatonin is not just the pineal secretion, but it is also in your stomach. So that brings us to the vagus nerve. When you are doing the 14-point exercise, it only takes 7 minutes. but the benefits are so immense because the vagus nerve, if you, I have a nice chart, I will put it on the, with Muthumani, you look at it and it has this two area, like, what are these called? I will bring the chart and show it to you. So let us prioritize that Kayakalp is our ultimate research platform, whether it is biomagnetism, sexual vital fluid, the aura, how the beauty, I'm after beauty, So understanding this need of the moment. So let me bring that, but I think I'm also speaking with Vijay about this every day. I said, if 10 years has gone by with autoimmune, and we have tried everything. So I said, let's go back to Kayakalp religiously, because you have to register that here, that I have suffered, this is the solution. So you are giving more fuel to your mind to do it. Does that make sense?
That really makes sense. See, whatever attempts you have made with all physical,
Yes.
outside the body approaches, they have to work through your body. Whereas Kayakalpa works with your body, with your own resources.
Yes.
And your mind, which is the of the human being, it can plan, chart out, design any chemical that has to come out from the basic unit of magnetism. So you create your own remedy, your own mystery to answer your problem, and which others may not, even if you have not understood what your problem is. That's why in Siddha, people don't give importance to diagnosis.
Yes.
What diagnosis? They don't know. They don't bother about. They just see what is the presentation, behavior of your body with the nadi, with the other things, and act accordingly. Try to balance the nadis, and everything works by itself. So here, Kayakalpa is a advanced technique to maneuver, manipulate, and put magnetism to work. Extract anything you want out of magnetism. And you get abundant biomagnetism supplied with every Kayakalpa.
Also, you mentioned.
So
Yes.
my, this thing is, now the first trial on Kayakalpa will start with Mr. Gupta ji and Indra Gupta ji.
Okay. So
the most dedicated disciples of Maharishi.
Okay. That's our treasure, our pleasure, and also the blessings, the whole sky family. But also I want to mention one thing that you mentioned about Ojas. Now there is a lot of confusion. Ojas, Tejas, people in Ayurveda, I know many people, they talk about it, but they absolutely have no clue how it can be expressed in a scientific language. So then we are stuck at the language level, Ojas. Then when you really go deeper into it, there are dead ends because they are not able to explain or convey what is Ojas from a scientific angle, So I don't know if we can really go deeper into this. And as Dr. Karthik is, experimenting, and Dr. Jaiprakash, I think let us involve clarification about what is biomagnetism, and give some references that, okay, this is the research that has been done. And it is not just sky research, but what other people have done all over the world. Because the question is to clarify what exactly it is. So same way I've been working with Mr. Rangaswamy about the scientific explanation of what is consciousness. Volumes are written and they are mentioned so many times about consciousness in every field, but they do not know what consciousness is, because it is part of those 4 axioms that Swamiji has put together. And when you are saying even axioms, I was talking to Vijay, when you are bringing axioms, then you are bringing science. But when you are saying attributes of Brahman, these 4 attributes, then it makes totally different, because it's language. So I think let's decide about some of the basics of clarifications of different concepts, and that way it will gel our own efforts to arrive at how we can represent this in a scientific language, scientific understanding, and giving the fuel to, okay, how we can put it on a international platform. And people, scientists, lay people, whoever is interested in giving this a push to find out. We can have dozen scientists asking questions, arriving at a consistent theoretical framework from the absolute space, pure space, Brahman, and giving this understanding at each and every level, whether it is physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, you name it. And that's my passion. And I think Dr. Rangaswamy can attest to that. Are you listening?
I can interrupt this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, please,
We
Dr. Ravindra.
surely we will take it forward, Doctor. Here, the entire team over here, we are getting to know each other's strength and how we should take forward all the concepts, not only Kayakalpa. There are many areas wherein one by one we will, take it forward. And then, we have come within the last couple of months so close. And similarly, there are many of the scientists, philosophers with whom Maharishi has interacted, and they are all in different locations. We have to pull around all the resources, and then I think we will have a common goal. One by one, we can take it forward. That's what Dr. Ravindranath was talking to me yesterday. A general talk is bringing each other's strength, and we know where we are going and how we are going and how to take it forward. All this will definitely fructify, because this forum, what Consciousness 360 has brought us together, and definitely our Dr. Jayaprakash has done a lot of other things. What next? I think next session, Tuesday, he can still give us some more inputs about. Very often we talked in India, very common problem of early menopause. He has very clearly told that a lot of scope is there, and 14 years, 13 years, 12 years kids, what's happening in India, not only in India, many parts of the world, Dr. Jayaprakash has observed. I think we will take it forward. Many more points will come out like this. All of you can contribute. Today, the talk has really narrowed us down, and where we can take it one by one on Kayakalpa, and all other subjects will follow. Dr. Ravindranath, can you summarize? It's almost 2 hours since we have been hearing on this wonderful topic.
Just I want to add one point.
Yes,
Can
sir.
I go? Because Indraji said about Ojas. I
Yeah.
studied about Ojas in a book called Perfect Digestion by Deepak Chopra. And
Yes.
he says that is the substance, it's a chemical substance, it gives the sense of well-being to our body. When that Ojas is separated from our body, one bad chemical, that is the waste product from the Ojas is called Hama. He says how to treat the Hama also. So the opposite of Ojas is Hama, he says, and he says in that book how to treat that Hama so that we can get the full benefit of Ojas. So if you think what is Ojas, we can say these neurotransmitters must be, because they are the one, they are giving the sense of well-being to our body. Sense of well-being means automatically all our endocrine organs must be working in an equilibrium to produce equal results in the body. Then only we can get a sense of well-being. And he says the opposite of sense of well-being means the Hama. So if you refer to Deepak Chopra, we may get something more about chemically, because he's doing a lot of research in that. I think
Yes.
who is more proximity to Deepak Chopra, I don't know. JP must be knowing about him. Any
I
ideas?
think, yes, I want to thank Dr. Indraji, given me a real moral boost to me, saying we concentrate on Kaya Kalpa, Kaya Kalpa, Kaya Kalpa. I really thank Indraji for that, because I want to spend my lifetime on Kaya Kalpa research. To be honest, if you ask me, I would love to concentrate, because
Pointed.
yes, Indraji, you are spot on, because Swamiji kept on telling me, work on Kaya Kalpa, work on Kaya Kalpa, work on Kaya Kalpa. That is still lingering in my mind, in my head.
Yes.
So I feel I want to dedicate my research life in Kaya Kalpa. And especially, as you rightly said, Indraji, Kaya Kalpa is the main, if I may say in a different way, how Kaya Kalpa and the Ojas work. Both are like mudras. They call it as mudras. You know what I mean? The mudras connect the physical body and mind together in the right direction. So I take it as Ashwini Mudra as Kaya Kalpa. Ojas is a different mudra. The both mudras combining Swamiji's technique is making the connection of physical body to the mind, and working together is a coherent bridge. So I talk it as Kaya Kalpa is a bridge connecting the physical body and mind body, working in the right way to flow the biomagnetism in the right direction. I'm sure, I'm so happy Indraji nailed it rightly though, in that way. I'm happy to say that I really happy to meet you all today. Thank you.
Same here. We reciprocate.
Thank you, Dr. Jayaprakash. Here, you know, we all know that the Siddha, you know, so many Siddhas like Sevak here has very clearly told. Today you have said, when you do Kaya Kalpa, he didn't say, Viruttarum Palaravar Meniyum Sivandidum. When you do this, Ojas, the old fellow will become younger and his skin will shine. That is what you told today. You have proved Sevak here.
It's all Siddha's borrowing words. What I said is all Siddha's borrowed words.
No. How many years before? Thousands of years before they have told this, and we did not find a meaning. And today you have very clearly touched your skin and you said, this is what Meni means. What? Meniyum Sivandidam. It is the skin which will show up. And it was very nice, doctor. And
this is why when Dr. Karthik said eyes, more than the eyes, skin is the best, easy to detect, I told Karthik.
No, there could be, see, to our knowledge, we are thinking, Aimbulangalum Unardilum. This is what, whether eye or skin, touch, nose, taste, and your eye, your ear, everything. This is what one by one. You see, another doctor will come and tell, I have done on hearing. My hearing has improved.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
all these 5 senses, we have to bring it together and say
Right.
the entire world will be rocked. Not only
Excellent.
we will have to wake up. So we have done a wonderful job, doctor. Where your focus on one area is wonderful. And there is no word to say how we are enjoying these sessions. This is the 3rd time I'm hearing about Kaya Kalpa by you. So I think Indraji is hearing first time.
You know
both of
what I
them
say
will,
to people.
no,
You know
both
what
of
I
them
say
will
to,
start practicing.
you know what I say to younger people?
Yes.
Breathe Kaya Kalpa, drink Kaya Kalpa, eat Kaya Kalpa. I tell them. Younger
Great.
people.
Now we will telecast this to the whole world. This is an interview and we have successfully concluding. We will all will. Why only younger people? People like me, people like Indraji and myself thronging together to become, 16-year-old girls.
Thank you.
Now, also, I want to add that, you see, Kayakalp, you don't have to do other things that Swamiji is saying, because that's the ultimate gift, and without any strings attached that you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this, because he really got into the core of the things, which is biomagnetism, and when you have done that, then you will inquire about all these other things that will follow, the meditation, because once you give the biggest benefit instantly or in a short time, this is what people are looking for right now. They don't want to learn from the beginning. They want some solution in the moment. Kayakalp has that potential, then you can do meditation, you can do exercises that Swamiji has put the whole system together. But Kayakalp is the ultimate, and it is taking short time and more benefits. And plus, people are facing their mortality in the moment right now because of COVID. Well, the third benefit that Swamiji has mentioned is you leave the planet when you are ready. You can postpone your death. That will attract much more attention because we are feeding into that need of the moment. Does that make sense?
Great. Yes, you really said so. When you say you become younger, you are not going to end up with your life. So it is true that we can prolong, and this Siddharths have done it. In India, there are a lot of evidence is there. Like, Dr. Jayaprakash has done throughout India. He has collected so much of data, and this one session, we cannot bring out everything. There are many more hidden and many more locations it is available. Let us pull around everything and put to the world that this is the scientific philosopher who has started this, and let us live in peace. And that is what we have to say without any problem of physical health. All that we have to do, in addition to physical exercises, this is also a must. So we must see to it we are capable of doing Kayakalpa, because we are able to get up or lie down. Otherwise, you can't. You have to practice all the 9 types of exercises and all the meditational techniques to be fit all the time. Whether you are young or old, but we have to take it forward. How to, that Dr. Jayaprakash, every time he has told this word, how do we take the younger generation? It's a great approach for it. So let us now move forward.
Mr.
Yes,
Rangaswamy.
Yeah.
Rabindranath wants to tell something.
Please.
Please go ahead.
See, before we take up assignments in Kayakalpa, I want you all to analyze the procedure of Kayakalpa, the theory and practice of Kayakalpa. What happens when we do, and what is the difference, which is the right Ashwini Mudra, what the Ojas is doing, the Ojas inspiration and expiration. So all these changes and steps can be explained by a medical man for better understanding. So in the next session, you may permit me to say that we will discuss the Kayakalpa as such, the theory and practice of Kayakalpa, threadbare, so
Okay.
that we have a clear understanding on it and carry on. And Dr. Shanmugaveli is also here, and Dr. Jay Prakash. So 3 doctors here, and we will be contributing to the better understanding of Kayakalpa.
Yes, doctor, you are right. Dr. Shanmuala has been regularly taking Kayakalpa classes. Around 2 hours it is required minimum, theory and practice. So he has got lot of PPTs wonderfully, logically proceeding towards the scientific philosophy of Kayakalpa. So I think he can make a presentation, and you also have same thing. We can combine both and make one and then present it.
Both will present it together.
Yeah, surely.
Good. Good.
Okay. So,
Can
as you rightly said, yes, is it time for, let them take breakfast? We have not allowed Guptaji to take
No.
breakfast also, I think.
What I want to share is, first of all, we have narrowed down to Kayakal. Is that right? We agree?
Yeah.
Secondly, the 4-prong approach, consistent theoretical framework, practices, experience, and research. If we work with these 4 parameters in Kayakal, then we can have a one-pager clarifying what, why, and how this works. And that will bring practices, how it works, what are the benefits, what are the experiences, and research-based solutions. So I think that let's narrow down to Kayakalp in these 4, I would say, parameters. And then contribute towards how we have understood, how we have practiced, or not getting benefits or getting benefits. That can be a very concentrated and focused platform.
Okay. Yeah,
So
we can do that.
I would request Dr. Rabindranath to really share with us in a writing, what are the things, and everybody can contribute. Even Dr. Jay Prakash can really kind of share the medical aspect of it or the scientific aspect.
Yes.
And
That's
then,
why I have
volunteered
to do that.
All of us to really ground ourselves into having the theoretical framework, whether it is from Brahman to Turiya and how the biomagnetism. Because I will tell you one very good article that I came across. I think it was in 2017. I think that appeared in one of the Anbolis. Now there are 6 variables. How it changes the metabolic, electrical, and biomagnetic things in our body. There is it's a research project that how those 6 variables impact metabolic, electrical, and biomagnetism in our body. Now, if we combine all this stuff, it will answer that how we are impacted by the hereditary stuff, the food, our thoughts, our actions, environmental conditions, and the calamities that are happening environmentally. So we can even engage the environmental people. So I'm looking at the broad perspective, but narrowing down to Kayakalpa. And then it can be shared in a different perspectives that scientists can really grasp where we are coming from. So anyway, I'm done. I love to talk, so please bear with me. And
Okay,
and
okay.
so,
Thank you.
okay,
Thank you, Doctor. Now let me hear. I think 2 of them have been patiently hearing last 2 hours. Is only Dr. Gunasekharan. Can you come forward and what have you got today's? What is the take-home message for Shankari and also Professor Shankari? You also come forward. Say a few
Please.
words in 2 minutes each.
Gunasekharan, I'm just a student listening to the Jambo.
எல்லாருமே ஸ்டூடெண்ட் தான் சார்.
I'm a very fresh student. Just entering the institution.
We want freshers so that this experience,
I learned a lot today how this research is going in a very big way, and it is close to me. And I should thank Dr. TTS for allowing me to listen to this program. And my teacher Ravindranath also there, and he was able to give a good summary. And I will go on keeping listening, and if any input, I will be ready to give it. Just now, I am only a fresher. Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't
Thank you,
worry,
Doctor.
I will train you. I will train you. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Now, let me hear from Professor Shankari from Delhi. What Delhi is doing, very powerful place.
Yeah, hi sir. Valga Vallamadan. Actually,
Come on, Shankari.
Sir, I'm a learner, sir. Actually, I don't know the technical terms, everything. Actually, I'm a learner. 1 second, sir. Just I make the note.
Naresh has come back from works. Naresh has joined us.
No, actually, he's in the office work only. இன்னும் போயிட்டு இருக்கு கால் அப்படியே போயிட்டு இருக்கு. 1 second, I will take my notes. 1 second, sir. I will just take my notes.
Surely, we get to know the intricacies of each of these points of Maharishi, philosophy after philosophy, not 1 or 2. And that is why it is called 360 degrees by Ravindranath ji. So, we have got 1 degree now. We will move on next session Tuesday, where it's probably same time, and Muthumani can coordinate. Some of them we have invited, more than another 6 to 7 members could not join, but next week we will make sure that all of them participate. Thank you, Shankari.
Shankari has to come for something. She's having something to tell.
Shankari, go ahead.
You wanted to tell something.
You have something else?
Yeah,
Shankari?
actually, just I want to share actually my experience. After my marriage, I learned Kayakalpa. After a month, I got my pregnant. I used to put Ashwini Mudra frequently. That means 3 to 5 hours between. I will put. Hello, sir. Enna, sir?
Throughout the pregnancy, you have been practicing Ashwini Mudra.
Yes. I actually konjam nervous irukku பேசுறதுக்கு அதனால தான் I'm struggling actually. At the time of hello sir.
உங்களுக்கே நர்வஸ் அப்படின்னு கண்டிப்பா
Sir,
சொல்லுங்க சொல்லுங்க.
because எல்லாமே டாக்டர்ஸ் எல்லாம் அதனால கொஞ்சம் I felt தெரியல. I don't know how to. ஆக்சுவலா வந்து நான் அந்த அஸ்வினி முத்ரா ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ண நான் டெலிவரி வார்ட்ல அட்மிட் ஆனேன். ஜஸ்ட் 20 மினிட்ஸ்ல பையன் பிறந்துட்டான் வித்தவுட் எனி பெயின்.
That's great.
That is the and whatever you are having mentioned here, I also felt all those difference as I have practiced Kayakalpa every day.
Very good.
Excellent.
Shankari, very good, Shankari. In fact, Dr. Shanmugavelu has been in every session. I have been noticing, even in RER, where there were more than 500 professors were there, ladies and gents. And when he said pelvic diaphragm gets strengthened if you do a normal delivery, he came to the stage and then he said, I assure all of you, he was surrounded by ladies. You can imagine. So, doctor, you have to say that.
No, that pelvic diaphragm, when it's strengthened, it gives the counter pressure. When the abdomen gives the pressure downwards, pelvic diaphragm gives the counter pressure and it withstands the pressure. So the baby can come out. If the pelvic diaphragm is not giving counter pressure, then whatever the abdomen pushes down, the baby cannot come out. The diaphragm will not dilate and give the way for the baby to come out. That is why if it is weak, the baby for the pelvic diaphragm will be just bulging out, but it will not allow the baby to come out. This, when we put the diagram in the PPT and when we explain it, you can understand.
See,
looking forward to it.
Next
the
session we will
process
do
of
it.
natural delivery. The process of natural delivery is strengthening the pelvic diaphragm. The nurse gives support to the perineum and increases the pressure abdominally, perabdominally. From above, the pressure is increased. Below, the resistance is increased so that the baby comes out. The procedures are to strengthen the pelvic diaphragm.
Okay. Thank you, doctor. It was, I think it is
Right.
time to conclude. I think you have been telling,
Please.
maintain a time. So I am a timekeeper today. I have to thank all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jayaprakash, Dr. Karthik, Valvalamudan, to all of you.
Oh, Arifolamudan, I feel very privileged to attend such a meeting with all of you. Oh, Arifolamudan.
Valvalamudan. Indraji.
And looking. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Gunasekaran, doctor, thank you. Dr.
Thank you,
Shanmugavelu
sir.
and
Thank you.
Dr. Muthumani,
Gunasekaran.
Muthumani, who have been doing a wonderful job. And yesterday onwards, he has been very busy, and Muthumani has to be acknowledged with the special efforts. One day earlier, he woken us up. Thank you, Muthumani, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Next week we can. Okay.
Next week, same time.
Same time.
Thank you. See you all.
See you.
Thank you.
All.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you all of you. Thank you all of you.